Chapter 101. You can't block my saber. Kill me. The He Mountain Dao's Chi cultivator sneered, martial artist's martial Dao true intent is indeed powerful, but it's only effective against those with weak wills. Since my childhood, I have practiced the heart-calming technique with an unblemished mind and unwavering will. What's the use of martial Dao true intent? The He Mountain Dao's Chi cultivator, who dared to challenge Lin Fei, must have had confidence. His confidence was the heart-calming technique. This was a method that trained the will and strengthens the divine sense. It required a lot of mental energy. But for those in the Chi condensation realm, it didn't have much use. The only use was to slightly increase the probability of success during the foundation establishment stage. However, very few Chi condensation cultivators would spend so much energy practicing the heart-calming technique to increase the success rate of foundation establishment by a little bit. It seemed somewhat not worth it. Of course, there was another type of person who might practice the heart-calming technique. Those who have absolute confidence in their own foundation establishment. They felt that they could definitely succeed in foundation establishment 100%. Therefore, they were willing to spare no effort to increase the success rate of the foundation establishment even a little bit. Obviously, this Chi cultivator from He Mountain Dao had such confidence, feeling that he could succeed in foundation establishment 100%. So he practiced the heart-calming technique since he was a child. Martial Dao true intent, on the other hand, targeted the will and the mind. In this regard, Chi cultivators were far inferior to martial artists. After all, martial artists had been honing their physical fitness since childhood and training martial arts at the coldest and hottest periods of the year. Martial artists persist for decades. This unwavering determination was far from what those Chi cultivators who practiced in the mountains could compare to. Therefore, martial Dao true intent could directly damage the minds of Chi cultivators. But for martial artists, at most, it could only intimidate them for a moment. Of course, if Lin Fei were to deal with martial artists with his martial Dao true intent enhanced fist and saber techniques, the power would be multiplied and equally extraordinary. Swish! Lin Fei stood up. Lin Fei. Lin Yero was a bit worried. Senior sister, some things can't be avoided. Since he wants to fight, then I'll accommodate him. This time, I'll unsheathe my saber. Senior sister Ling's 9 shadow saber technique has also reached perfection. Theoretically, you could also comprehend saber intent. Senior sister, watch closely and see what saber intent is. Lin Fei took one step at a time, walking onto the arena. This battle was not for ranking or profit. Only for victory. Watching Lin Fei walk onto the stage, everyone under the stage held their breath and focused intently. They knew that this would definitely be a spectacular battle. A great battle between a martial artist and a Chi cultivator. Both of them stood on the stage, looking at each other from afar. He Mountain Dao, He Yanzi. 9 Profound Sect, Lin Fei. Both of them announced their names. It was the first time that Lin Fei learned the name of this He Mountain Dao's Chi cultivator, He Yanzi. Obviously, He Yanzi was the strongest Chi cultivator participating in the royal competition this time. He Mountain Dao had invested heavily, sending He Yanzi down the mountain. And He Yanzi did not disappoint. He secured a spot in the top 3 of the competition. He could enter the secret realm now. However, what he wanted to do even more was to defeat Lin Fei to restore the reputation of the He Mountain Dao. Ever since Lin Fei killed the He Mountain Dao's Chi cultivator, the He Mountain Dao's disciples had been ridiculed among the many Chi cultivators from various immortal sects, losing all face. He Yanzi intended to take it all back from Lin Fei. Draw your saber, or else you won't be able to hurt me, He Yanzi said indifferently. A magical artifact had already enveloped He Yanzi's body. Aside from martial Dao true intent and innate true Chi, no other power, however strong, could break through the Chi cultivator's magical artifact. Lin Fei did not speak. Instead, he silently stimulated his fist intent. Boom. This was Lin Fei's fist intent. Imposing and vast, it rolled towards He Yanzi. Huh? He Yanzi's face changed slightly. It wasn't saber intent. He knew Lin Fei had saber intent. Lin Fei had previously displayed his fist intent as well. Lin Fei had two types of martial Dao true intent. Although He Yanzi was full of confidence, he was confident but not arrogant and not reckless either. He was very cautious about Lin Fei's martial Dao true intent. Thus, the moment Lin Fei unleashed his fist intent, He Yanzi had already executed the heart-calming technique. Heart-calming technique. My thought is a mountain. Nothing can shake my spirit. Even martial Dao true intent is nothing but an illusion. He Yanzi remained motionless, chanting under his breath. Obviously, facing Lin Fei's fist intent, he wasn't as relaxed as he climbed. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Lin Fei did not use the leaping technique. Instead, he took 1 step at a time toward He Yanzi. Because he was stimulating his fist intent, using his fist intent to continuously suppress He Yanzi. With each step closer, the deterrence Lin Fei's fist intent had on He Yanzi became even stronger. He Yanzi's spirit and willpower were indeed much stronger than those of other Qi cultivators. Even when faced with Lin Fei's mastery fist intent, his mental defense remained unbroken. His willpower remained unwavering. Even the spiritual power in his body had no fluctuations. Flawless. He Yanzi was now almost flawless. If a Qi cultivator's spiritual power had no fluctuations, then a martial artist's saber, inner power, and martial techniques cannot break through its spiritual power. However, Lin Fei's fist intent also put immense pressure on He Yanzi. It was like a huge mountain, continuously increasing its weight. He Yanzi was left with no opportunity to use other techniques. He could only endure. Lin Yero was also a martial artist. Moreover, a martial artist with a perfected saber technique. She had a certain understanding of martial Dao true intent. She knew that martial Dao true intent could not last long. Martial intent was the embodiment of a martial artist's willpower. It was impossible to maintain it indefinitely. Although Lin Fei seemed to have the upper hand using his fist intent, preventing He Yanzi from using other techniques. In reality, Lin Fei could not hurt He Yanzi. As long as He Yanzi's spiritual power remained stable, the defensive magical artifact activated could block any of Lin Fei's attacks, placing him in an invincible position. As time went on, Lin Fei's martial Dao true intent would be unable to sustain itself. That would be He Yanzi's opportunity to counterattack. So, although Lin Fei seemed to have the upper hand now, in fact, his situation was not very optimistic. However, besides fist intent, Lin Fei also had saber intent. Lin Fei had not used his saber intent. He was looking for a weakness in He Yanzi. Very few people could see the complicated situation between Lin Fei and He Yanzi. However, everyone could see the situation between the two seemed to be at a stalemate. Moreover, He Yanzi had not made a move. But once he did, Lin Fei would most likely be defeated. No one said another word. Everyone was silently focusing on the movements in the arena, afraid of missing any details. In the arena, Lin Fei's pace was neither fast nor slow. He still approached He Yanzi step by step. Originally, the distance between the two was about 20 steps. And now, Lin Fei had already covered half the distance. The pressure of his fist intent had almost reached its peak that even cold sweat appeared on He Yanzi's forehead. Obviously, He Yanzi was not at ease. It was said that martial Dao true intent was an illusion, but that was not entirely true. Martial Dao true intent was merely intangible and invisible. It was a real attack. It was a form of power. It can't be called an illusion. If one cannot block it, then it cannot be blocked. There was no luck involved. He Yanzi had been practicing heart-calming techniques since he was a child. It did make his spirit and willpower much stronger than ordinary chi condensation cultivators. However, a chi condensation cultivator was still just a chi condensation cultivator. No matter how strong their spirit and willpower were, there was a limit. Therefore, Lin Fei's mastery fist intent was already the limit that He Yunzi could endure. Not revealing any flaws was He Yunzi's greatest fortune. 9 steps, 8 steps, 7 steps, 6 steps, 5 steps. He Yunzi's pressure was getting heavier and heavier. A thought began to emerge in his mind. Lin Fei still had saber intent that he hadn't used. Once he used the saber intent, could he withstand it? Once this thought appeared, it could not be erased. It even became uncontrollable, intensifying and echoing in He Yunzi's mind. Suddenly, Lin Fei stopped at a distance of 3 steps in front of He Yunzi. His gaze was fixed on He Yunzi. His eyes were calm as if nothing could affect his emotions. Your spirit has finally shown a flaw. You can't block my saber. Lin Fei's hand slowly grasped the hidden saber at his waist. Chapter 102. Kill. You can't shake my spirit. These little tricks are not worth showing off. My spirit is as solid as a rock. What if you have saber intent? You can't do anything to me. He Yunzi's eyes were calm. He constantly used the heart-calming technique to stabilize his own spirit. However, he didn't know that the more he used the heart-calming technique to stabilize his spirit, the more he had actually exposed the flaws in it. Because his subconscious was wary and afraid of saber intent. His subconscious wanted to guard against Lin Fei's saber intent. This was the flaw. Of course, this kind of flaw was also because Lin Fei first used his fist intent to constantly suppress He Yunzi. That was why He Yunzi's spiritual flaw was created. He even magnified He Yunzi's spiritual flaw step by step. By now, He Yunzi's spiritual flaws had been in front of Lin Fei. It was full of holes. The next moment, Lin Fei didn't hesitate any longer. Shoo! Lin Fei drew his saber. He had been nurturing the saber for 2 full months. Moreover, he nurtured the saber under the condition of the saber drawing technique perfection, even with the nourishment of saber intent. Nurturing inner power and saber intent together for 2 months, even Lin Fei himself didn't know how powerful this saber was. He only knew if he drew his saber, He Yunzi wouldn't be able to block it. No one could see the speed at which Lin Fei drew his saber. Everyone could only see a white light flashing through the void. However, not seeing the saber didn't mean they couldn't sense the saber intent. Saber intent was different from fist intent. Saber intent was sharp and extremely fierce. The moment Lin Fei drew his saber, it was as if he had transformed into an unparalleled treasure saber. It seemed like the sky was full of sharp saber edges. Even down in the arena, far away, they could still feel the sharpness of the saber blade. It seemed to be cutting their skin, making the skin feel a faint pain. Slash! As Lin Fei drew his saber, the fierce saber intent erupted like a volcano. Down in the arena, many martial artists carried sabers with them. But now, these sabers were shaking violently. Even the sabers in their sheaths were making a faint ringing sound. It was as if there was an invisible force controlling everyone's sabers. Is this the saber intent? It's said that once the saber intent erupts, any saber wielder, in front of a martial artist who has comprehended saber intent, can't even hope to draw their saber. The saber intent can control all sabers. I originally thought it was an absurd legend, but now it seems to be true. I really can't control my saber anymore. This scene was simply incredible. It shocked many martial artists and chi condensation cultivators. This completely overturned their previous understanding of martial artists. When did martial artists become so terrifying? If a martial artist comprehended saber intent once on the battlefield, wouldn't it mean that with just a thought, the sabers in the hands of thousands of soldiers would be instantly controlled? Even drawing the saber would be a luxury. What would happen on a battlefield? A martial artist who has comprehended saber intent was no longer as simple as fighting 1 against 100, but 1 against 10,000. A true enemy of 10,000. At this moment, martial artists seem to have made a deep impression on many chi cultivators' hearts. It turned out that martial artists were not just what they usually saw. Martial artists also had divine powers. This saber intent could be compared to a divine power. The people below the arena were merely shocked, but in the arena, He-Yunzi, who was facing Lin Fei's saber intent directly. It was not as simple as being shocked. The moment Lin Fei drew his saber in his line of sight, it seemed like there was only a ball of white light in his mind, which was originally pitch black. At this moment, it seemed to have been cut open by a beam of light. That was a saber. An indescribable saber. It flashed by in an instant. It disappeared into his mind in an instant. Suddenly, a violent tearing sensation clearly emanated from his mind. He-Yunzi felt as if his mind had been forcibly cut open. Then, his vision went dark. He lost all consciousness. Lin Fei sheathed his saber. His saber seemed as if it had never left its sheath. He-Yunzi showed no reaction. The only change might be the light from the defensive magical artifact on his body. It disappeared. No one knew when it disappeared. Perhaps it was the moment Lin Fei drew his saber, or perhaps it was the moment He-Yunzi's mind fell into darkness. In any case, He-Yunzi's magical artifact had lost its glow. This meant that without the support of spiritual power, the magical artifact was just a pile of scrap iron. From He-Yunzi's head, a line of blood appeared from top to bottom. The next moment, He-Yunzi's body incredibly split into 2 halves. Blood splattered everywhere and a strong smell of blood filled the air. He-Yunzi was dead. And he died in such a miserable and shocking way. The 2 halves of his body fell to the ground with a plop. Suddenly, everyone was in an uproar. He-Yunzi is dead. How could he die? Even if He-Yunzi was defeated, he shouldn't have died. Besides, he could have admitted defeat. Why didn't He-Yunzi surrender? He-Yunzi had a magical artifact on him. As long as his mind wasn't broken, he wouldn't die as long as he had spiritual power to support him. He-Yunzi is dead. Will he Mountain Dao let this go? Many people were shocked. They thought at most one side would lose. Losing, at worst, meant surrendering. How could one side die? Moreover, the death was so tragic. Lin Fei silently glanced at He-Yunzi's corpse on the ground and looked at the 3 elders presiding over the royal competition. Lin Fei calmly said, "Saber drawing technique. Once the saber is drawn, it cannot be stopped. He-Yunzi couldn't withstand my saber intent and couldn't maintain the flow of spiritual power. So, he couldn't block my saber either." The 3 royal elders were witnesses, and there were so many people witnessing it. He-Yunzi was dead, and that was it. The 3 royal elders exchanged glances. Others couldn't see it clearly, but as high-level chi condensation cultivators, their divine senses were incredibly powerful. Naturally, they saw the whole scene clearly. And it was as Lin Fei said, there was no discrepancy. Lin Fei just used the saber drawing technique. The saber was drawn, and it was earth-shattering. The speed was so fast, and the saber intent was so sharp made the 3 royal elders feel a chill in their hearts. Facing such a terrifying saber intent, He-Yunzi couldn't withstand it, and his mind was instantly shattered by Lin Fei's saber intent. He-Yunzi's willpower was broken by Lin Fei, and he naturally couldn't maintain his own spiritual power. Without spiritual power, the magical artifact lost its protective function. Then, Lin Fei's saber struck He-Yunzi's body, easily cutting him in half with one saber stroke. The speed of Lin Fei's saber-drawing technique was simply too fast. Even the 3 royal elders, who were high-level chi condensation cultivators, couldn't intervene in time to save him. "Lin Fei, this is the arena, and the saber has no eyes." Yanzi was weak and was killed by you, which is within the rules. We witnessed it with our own eyes and will report the truth to Dao. You don't need to worry. Thank you, 3 seniors. Lin Fei's expression remained calm as he turned around and slowly walked off the stage. Chapter 103. Destroy the gate of Dao. The following events had nothing to do with Lin Fei. In another contest for 3rd place, the follower of the 9th princess admitted defeat to Lin Fei to preserve his strength. As expected, it worked wonders. He easily won the 3rd place. From then on, the top 3 were determined. The royal competition came to an end. This time's royal competition was filled with climaxes and unexpected changes. No one could have imagined an acquired martial artist could actually kill a 6th-level orthodox chi condensation cultivator. The legendary martial Dao True Intent reappeared. As a result, with the departure of these people, Lin Fei's name instantly spread throughout all the forces of Great Chan. Regardless of whether they were martial arts sects or lofty immortal sects, they all knew about Lin Fei. However, sometimes fame in the world was not necessarily a good thing. It might even bring trouble. In the South King Mansion, Lin Yera's expression was serious and she called Lin Fei to the hall. Lin Fei, this is the Heavenly Meridian pill, one for each of us. Lin Yera handed a pill to Lin Fei. This was what Lin Fei deserved. This Heavenly Meridian pill had many pill patterns on it. Whenever there were pill patterns, it meant that the refining process was extremely difficult. Taking one Heavenly Meridian pill could open up a meridian and increase inner power by 1 level. For acquired martial artists, it could be considered the best pill. Lin Yo also received a Heavenly Meridian pill. She could use it to break through the bottleneck and advance to the 7th level acquired martial artist. However, Lin Yera's expression was very serious. She didn't seem to be very excited. Lin Fei, there is some trouble with your situation, Lin Yera said with a serious tone. Is it about Yanzi? Lin Fei looked up. He could roughly guess. Lin Yera looked at Lin Fei with a complex expression and nodded. No one expected that you could kill Yanzi. Afterward, I asked the 3 elders and learned about Yanzi's identity. Yanzi had an extraordinary status in Dao, and he was considered the most promising disciple to successfully build his foundation in the past 300 years. He didn't need to participate in this royal competition. But Yanzi insisted on coming down the mountain. His purpose was to meet you in the royal competition, defeat your momentum, and save face for Dao. As a result, he was killed by you. Lin Fei's expression remained calm as if nothing could make him emotional. However, Lin Fei understood Lin Yera's words. So, the high-level chi condensation cultivators of Dao might take action against me. Lin Fei said indifferently. It's not a possibility, it's certain. Even with the support of the royal family, Dao is one of the immortal sects, and it's not that easy to deal with them. Besides, you are not a member of the royal family. The royal family cannot protect you at all costs under these circumstances. However, Lin Fei, as long as you stay in Chang City or simply return to the 9 profound sect and never come down the mountain, Dao can't do anything to you. Don't underestimate the 9 profound sect. Although it is a martial arts sect, the founder of the 9 profound sect was an extraordinary talent and left behind many treasures. It's delusional for Dao to think they can attack the 9 profound sect. Lin Fei understood. Those high-level chi condensation cultivators of Dao would definitely take action against him, but Lin Fei wasn't without a place to go. The 9 profound sect mountain and Chan City were safe places. Those high-level chi condensation cultivators of Dao wouldn't dare to act recklessly in Chan City, nor would they dare to attack the 9 profound sect. However, Lin Fei knew that it was not as simple as Lin Yera said. If Dao wanted to kill Lin Fei, they would naturally find a way to make Lin Fei leave Chan City or the 9 profound sect. For example, the Lin family in Ju Mountain Mansion City. Those immortal sects might not take direct action themselves. However, they could secretly manipulate some evil and demonic people to cause chaos in Ju Mountain Mansion City and threaten the Lin family. At that time, Lin Fei would inevitably come down the mountain. That would be He Mountain Dao's opportunity. Thank you, senior sister, for telling me all this, Lin Fei thanked her with a bow. Lin Fei, it was me who let you participate in the royal competition. Otherwise, this kind of thing would never have happened. So, I am the one who got you into trouble. Lin Yero bit her lip. She was responsible for this. She deeply blamed herself. She wanted to use some connections and methods to help Lin Fei. However, He Yunzi was dead and nothing could be undone. In this world, strength ultimately prevailed. I will write a letter to have the Lin family temporarily move into the 9 Profound sect, and I will not leave Chan City unless it's absolutely necessary, Lin Fei said calmly. Don't worry, Lin Fei, I will arrange for someone to escort the Lin family to the 9 Profound sect as quickly as possible. Lin Yo immediately went to make arrangements. She was a princess. With her token, officials from all over would cooperate. Thank you, senior sister. Lin Fei returned to his room. He recalled the words Lin Yero had said. He Mountain Dao was about to seek revenge. Even with the protection of the 9 Profound sect and the mediation of the royal family, Lin Fei killed He Yunzi. He Mountain Dao wouldn't let this go easily. They would definitely try every means to kill Lin Fei. This world was so cruel, strength was supreme. Sometimes, even if one is in the right, it doesn't matter. My strength is still not enough. A cold light flashed in Lin Fei's eyes. If his strength was strong enough, he could easily deter He Mountain Dao with just one word. If his strength was strong enough, he could directly attack He Mountain Dao, trample down He Mountain Dao's sect gate, and extinguish their lineage, just like the founder of the 9 Profound sect. How carefree it would be to dominate the world and be invincible. Who would dare threaten the disciples of the 9 Profound sect? System. Lin Fei called out the system panel. Host, Lin Fei. Martial Arts Realm, acquired 8th level. Saber Intent, Mastery, 16% progress. Fist Intent, Mastery, 45% progress. 3 Vitality Technique, Level 8, 38% progress. Leaping Technique, Perfection, 0% progress. Flowing Clothes Skill, Transcendence, 0% progress. 3 Vitality Technique, currently only at the 8th level. His Fist Intent improved by 30% today, and Saber Intent also improved by 5%. As long as he used Saber Intent to kill strong enemies, it could be improved during combat. Fist Intent, however, required victory and attention. Nevertheless, Lin Fei was well aware neither Fist Intent nor Saber Intent reaching Transcendence would happen overnight. Those above Qi Condensation 7th level are called high-level Qi Condensation cultivators. Those who can break through 7th level have strong mental will. Moreover, the spells and magical artifacts they control are very powerful. Mastery in martial intent cannot deal with high-level Qi Condensation cultivators. At most, it can only intimidate them for a moment. Killing them is almost impossible. Therefore, it is necessary to reach the Transcendence level or break through the Ren and do Meridians and advance to Innate. By then, innate true Qi can break the magical artifacts of Qi Condensation cultivators and injure them. Combined with martial Dao true intent, killing high-level Qi Condensation cultivators should not be a problem. Lin Fei analyzed his current strength. In terms of martial Dao true intent, Lin Fei was already quite strong. But his cultivation was only at acquired 8th level. There was still a gap to reach innate. I still have a large amount of burst Qi pills which can be used to speed up the improvement of my inner power. If the burst Qi pills are not enough, I can write a letter to Lin Miao asking him to disguise the burst Qi pills and send them to Chan City, which shouldn't be a problem. If even burst Qi pills are not very useful, I can use Heavenly Meridian Pill. I will strive to improve to acquire 12 level. By then, reaching innate will be possible. Once I reach innate, what can high-level chi condensation cultivators do? If he mountain Dao's high-level chi condensation cultivators really dare to come, I will really dare to kill. Lin Fei's heart was also filled with killing intent. He mountain Dao repeatedly made things difficult for him. Even a clay figure has a temper. It was he mountain Dao's people who provoked Lin Fei in the first place. Lin Fei fought back and killed them, but now he had to bear the consequences. If he mountain path really dared to make a move, once I achieve great success in martial arts, I will definitely destroy the gate of he mountain Dao. Chapter 104. The Greedy 3 Vitality Technique. For a while, Lin Fei stayed in the South Qin mansion. Moreover, Lin Fei spread the news. He was willing to trade the quota for entering the secret realm. However, it must be exchanged with pills or treasures that can enhance a martial artist's inner power. A chance to enter the royal secret realm, for many chi cultivators, was very attractive. After all, they might be able to obtain the spiritual medicine for Foundation Establishment pill. The royal family allowed them to take the spiritual medicine away. In that case, with the spiritual medicine, the chi cultivators could try to refine a batch of Foundation Establishment pills. For chi cultivators, it would mean a few more chances to establish their foundation. After all, even in the immortal sects, under normal circumstances, they would only give a Foundation Establishment pill to disciples who had the potential to establish their foundation. Foundation Establishment pill could be taken multiple times. In theory, the more Foundation Establishment pills one took, the greater the chance of successful Foundation establishment. Many chi cultivators would spare no effort to obtain the spiritual medicine for Foundation Establishment pill from the royal secret realm. As a result, many chi cultivators tried their best to collect some pills or treasures that can enhance inner power. However, for 3 consecutive days, the things brought by the chi cultivators were not satisfactory to Lin Fei. Lin Fei, Taoist Yu Shanzi is here. Lin Ye brought a familiar face to Lin Fei. It was Yu Shanzi from the Green Jade Gate. She was defeated by Lin Fei in the martial arts competition. Lin Fei showed mercy and didn't hurt her mentally. Nice to meet you, young hero Lin. Yu Shanzi slightly bowed her head. Now that Lin Fei had killed He Yunzi, the only benefit, perhaps, was his reputation. Lin Fei's fame skyrocketed. No longer a nobody. Even the aloof acquired realm martial artists, when they met Lin Fei, would no longer dare to be as arrogant as before. Taoist Yu Shanzi, there's no need to be so polite. I heard that Taoist Yu Shanzi also wants to exchange the quota for entering the secret realm. I wonder what good things Taoist Yu Shanzi has in her possession. Lin Fei asked curiously. Just now, Lin Yero had told him that Yu Shanzi had something good. That's why Lin Fei decided to meet with Yu Shanzi. Yu Shanzi smiled slightly and said, "Young hero Lin, I am aware of your requirements. Although there are many pills that can enhance inner power, it is difficult for you to find a pill similar to the Heavenly Meridian pill. Even among the immortal sects, the pills they refine to enhance inner power are no better than the Royal Heavenly Meridian pill. And the Heavenly Meridian pill can only be taken once, so I suppose young hero Lin doesn't need a second one. Indeed, there is no better pill than the Heavenly Meridian pill. But after much effort, I finally obtained a 100-year-old gold crown treasure snake from my senior fellow disciples. This gold crown treasure snake has been nurtured for 100 years and has consumed countless precious supplements. Its fresh blood can nourish a martial artist's body, greatly enhancing muscles, skin, and vitality. And inner power is nothing more than what's produced by muscles, skin, and inner power itself. Drinking the blood of the treasure snake, it shouldn't be difficult to improve inner power. I have brought a jar of the treasure snake's blood here. Young hero Lin can have a taste first. If you are satisfied, we can then exchange the quota for entering the secret realm. What do you think, young hero Lin? Lin Fei's eyes lit up. He then smiled and said, "Since Taoist Yushanzi is so sincere, how can I not agree?" Lin Fei agreed. Yushanzi brought the treasure snake's blood and she let Lin Fei try it first. Clearly, she was very sincere. What could Lin Fei be unsatisfied with? So Yushanzi poured a small bowl of the treasure snake's blood from the jar. Lin Fei drank it immediately. Instantly, he felt a warmth in his abdomen. After a while, this warmth had spread throughout his entire body. Lin Fei's vitality, muscles, and skin all seemed to experience a second growth. They were constantly improving and strengthening. The blood of the treasure snake did not directly enhance inner power. Instead, it enhanced muscles, skin, and vitality. As Lin Fei's vitality, muscles, and skin became stronger, the inner power produced naturally became faster and greater, thus indirectly enhancing inner power. About half an hour later, Lin Fei opened his eyes. He felt the inner power within his body. He was incredibly shocked. In just this short period of time, his inner power had actually increased by 10%. Your 3 vitality technique has tasted the blood of the treasure snake and is in high spirits, full of energy, and the cultivation speed has greatly increased. Your 3 vitality technique cultivation progress has increased by 5%. The system's voice rang out in Lin Fei's mind. It was actually an increase in the cultivation progress of the 3 vitality technique. Rare indeed, truly rare. Ever since Lin Fei began cultivating the 3 vitality technique, he knew that this 3 vitality technique was a calm and steady technique. It was difficult for anything to stimulate the 3 vitality technique. Therefore, all this time, the 3 vitality technique had been steadily improving, little by little. There was basically no significant improvement through sudden enlightenment or the like. But now, after Lin Fei drank the blood of the treasure snake, the 3 vitality technique finally showed a response. The cultivation progress had improved somewhat. It seemed that the 3 vitality technique was quite greedy. 5% wasn't much, but that was just a small bowl of treasure snake blood. What if it were a whole jar of treasure snake blood? Taoist Yushanzi, I'll trade this jar of treasure snake blood for entry to the secret realm. I'll give you the entry quota. I hope that in the secret realm, Taoist Yushanzi can protect my senior sister. Lin Fei showed a slight smile on his face and said to Yushanzi, "Great, young hero Lin. I'm so grateful to you. I will definitely protect the princess." Yushanzi was overjoyed. Lin Fei really agreed to exchange the quota. Although the treasure snake was precious, how could it compare to the elixir for the Foundation establishment pill? If they really obtained the elixir in the secret realm, Yushanzi might have several Foundation establishment pills in the future. That's equivalent to having several more chances for Foundation establishment than others. This was simply an opportunity to succeed in cultivation. How could Yushanzi not be excited? Senior Sister Ling, I won't get involved in the matter of entering the secret realm. You can discuss it with Taoist Yushanzi. I hope Senior Sister and Taoist can gain great harvests in the secret realm. After saying that, Lin Fei excused himself and left. He hurried back to his room and informed the servants of the South King Mansion that they should not disturb him unless there was something important. Lin Fei was going into seclusion. With the burst chi pill and this jar of treasure snake blood, Lin Fei believed his cultivation would definitely advance by leaps and bounds. He might not reach the 12th level of the acquired stage, but reaching the 10th or 11th level should not be a problem. 3 vitality technique, I'm afraid you'll have to work hard during this time, Lin Fei muttered softly. Lin Fei was going to take burst chi pills and swallow the treasure snake blood. The 3 vitality technique was destined to be several times busier than before. Fortunately, the 3 vitality technique had a calm and steady temperament and would not be impatient. Otherwise, Lin Fei would be a little worried. The 3 vitality technique might go on strike and refuse to work. Let's begin. Lin Fei took a deep breath. He poured out another large bowl of treasure snake blood and swallowed it directly. Chapter 105. Acquired Peak. In the blink of an eye, more than a month passed by in a hurry. Lin Fei had been in seclusion for a month. The blood of the gold-crowned treasure snake had already been consumed. The effect of taking the treasure snake blood and burst chi pill together was beyond imagination. Lin Fei's 3 vitality technique, almost every day, advanced by about 14% in cultivation progress. The 9th level, the 10th level, the 11th level, the 12th level. In the blink of an eye, Lin Fei's inner power reached the 12th level. The 12th level of the acquired realm was also known as the peak of the acquired realm. All 12 meridians had been cleared. Now, the surging inner power within Lin Fei's body could flow unimpeded through the various meridians, completing a small cycle. However, the inner power could only circulate within the body. It could only be considered a small cycle. If it were a large cycle, it would inevitably pass through the Ren and Du meridians. But opening up the Ren and Du meridians was extremely difficult. This was related to whether one could advance to the innate realm. The Ren and Du meridians were also known as the bridge between heaven and earth in the human body. Once the Ren and Du meridians were opened, one could connect with heaven and earth. When the inner power circulates, it could form a large cycle, capture the spiritual chi between heaven and earth and transform it into innate true chi. Once it transformed into innate true chi, it was actually equivalent to a chi condensation cultivator's spiritual power. This was why only innate martial artists could confront chi cultivators. Because, in a sense, once a chi cultivator developed their chi sense, in fact, it was equivalent to the true chi of an innate expert. Even at the first level of chi condensation, they were on par with innate experts. Of course, comparing innate true chi with spiritual power only means they were at the same level. It did not mean their combat power was the same. Some road cultivators who encountered innate martial artists wouldn't fare well. They might even be crushed by innate martial artists. However, if it were orthodox chi cultivators with magical artifacts, spells, talismans, and even the ability to set up formations, in such cases, it would depend on the martial arts strength and battle experience of the innate expert, as well as the strength of the chi cultivator's magical artifacts, spells, formations, etc. Who was stronger and who was weaker could only be known after a fight. Lin Fei swallowed a burst chi pill directly. Buzz. Lin Fei felt his inner power churning within his body, and then there was no more. He swallowed another burst chi pill. It merely made his inner power churn for a moment. Then, the inner power gradually calmed down. As for increasing a certain percentage of inner power, Lin Fei sensed his current inner power. The burst chi pill was like a drop of water entering the vast ocean. It couldn't stir up any waves at all. Because Lin Fei had already reached the peak of the acquired 12th level, his inner power could no longer advance. Sure enough, when inner power reaches its limit, even burst chi pills are of no use. A glint flashed in Lin Fei's eyes. He seemed to have anticipated this. After all, the human body is just mortal flesh. There is ultimately a limit. For example, acquired martial artists use their bodies to contain inner power. There must be a limit to that. Lin Fei had now reached the limit of what his body could contain. System. He immediately activated the system panel to check his martial arts progress. Host, Lin Fei. Martial arts realm, acquired peak. Saber intent, mastery, progress 16%. Fist intent, mastery, progress 45%. 3 vitality technique, 12 level, progress 0%. Leap-in technique, perfection, progress 0%. Flowing clothes skill, transcendence, progress 0%. In just over a month, Lin Fei's 3 vitality technique had finally reached the 12th level limit. It could no longer be improved. Moreover, Lin Fei still had a large number of burst chi pills that he hadn't taken. This was also a miscalculation by Lin Fei. He didn't expect that the effect of the gold-crowned treasure snake's blood would be so good. It allowed him to make rapid progress in just over a month, directly reaching the peak of the acquired 12th level. At this time, even burst chi pills were useless. For Lin Fei, there was only one path for him now. That was to assault the Ren and Du Meridians. Once he succeeded in the assault, he would be able to advance to the innate realm. However, assaulting the Ren and Du Meridians was extremely dangerous. One must not attempt it without full confidence, because once the assault failed, the Ren and Du Meridians would collapse. At that time, they would be completely blocked, and one would never be able to achieve the innate realm in their lifetime. That's why the number of innate martial artists was so rare. It was because of the danger of assaulting the Ren and Du Meridians, many people wasted decades at the peak of the acquired realm. They never dared to give it a try. By the time they were truly old and tried to give it a go, it was already too late. My inner power should be enough. After all, it is a combination of the three. Based on this foundation, my inner power far surpasses other acquired 12th level peak martial artists. However, to assault the Ren and Du Meridians, I must be well prepared and ensure success. The experience of advancing to the innate realm is crucial. Lin Fei furrowed his brows. He didn't have the experience of advancing to the innate realm. This was extremely important. If he were in the 9 profound sect, this wouldn't be a problem. Lin Fei's master, Jiao Kongming, was an innate martial artist. He had enough experience to teach Lin Fei how to open the Ren and Du Meridians and advance to the innate realm. However, Lin Fei couldn't return to the 9 profound sect. What if he Mountain Dao's high-level chi condensation expert ambushed him on the way? Lin Fei didn't dare to take the risk, especially at this critical moment of advancing to the innate realm. Lin Fei couldn't take any chances. Let's wait a bit longer. Senior sister Ling Yero hasn't returned from the secret realm yet. Once she returns, with her identity as princess, she must be able to find some experiences of martial artists assaulting the Ren and Du Meridians. I've endured it for over a month, and now there's only one step left. I can't be impatient now. The more critical the moment, the more composed one should be. In this way, a few more days passed. Lin Fei, I'm back. Ling Yero returned and there was excitement in her eyes. Senior sister Ling Yero, what benefits did you gain from spending so long in the secret realm? Lin Fei knew that Ling Yero must have obtained some advantages. Ha ha ha, Lin Fei, you wouldn't have guessed that in the secret realm I found 2 Zhu fruits. These Zhu fruits can prolong one's life, strengthen the body, and invigorate the spirit. If acquired martial artists consume them, their inner power will definitely increase greatly. Remember that I had previously taken the Heavenly Meridian pill and reached the acquired 7th level, right? Now, after consuming 1 Zhu fruit, I've already reached the acquired 8th level. I brought the last Zhu fruit out for you, as you definitely need it. Ling Yero took out a box and she opened it. Inside was a red fruit. It emitted a unique fragrance. Senior sister is truly blessed. Even able to encounter Zhu fruits. Ling Yero laughed and said, "Isn't it all thanks to you? If it worked for you, I wouldn't have had the chance to enter the secret realm, and how could I have obtained Zhu fruits? Lin Fei, hurry up and take it. With the Zhu fruit and the Heavenly Meridian pill, you'll definitely reach the acquired 10th level. If you continue to practice diligently, reaching the acquired 12th level peak in 1 or 2 years is a sure thing. By then, you'll be able to attempt opening the Ren and Du Meridians and have a chance to enter the innate realm." The dream of martial artists was to achieve innate realm. But it was too difficult. It had stumped countless martial artists. Even though Ling Yero was now at the acquired 8th level, she still didn't have the confidence to achieve the innate realm. Lin Fei took a deep look at the Zhu fruit. Then shook his head, pushed the Zhu fruit back, and calmly said, "Senior sister, I appreciate your kindness, but there is no limit to the number of times the Zhu fruit can be consumed. If I'm not mistaken, senior sister can consume another zoo fruit. Breaking through to the acquired 9th level shouldn't be a problem. Lin Yero shook her head and said, Lin Fei, don't refuse. What's the point of me reaching the acquired 9th level? This zoo fruit will be put to its greatest use when given to you. It's a pity that there are only 2 zoo fruits. I originally wanted to give them both to you, but I didn't recognize the zoo fruit before and mistakenly swallowed one, so now there's only one left. Lin Yeo still felt it was a waste that she had eaten one zoo fruit. Senior sister, I'm not refusing. But this zoo fruit is already useless to me. I don't even need the zoo fruit now, let alone the heavenly meridian pill. Because I've already reached the acquired 12th level and am at the peak of the acquired realm. The next moment, Lin Fei's inner power erupted completely. A terrifying aura emanated from Lin Fei's body, causing Lin Yera to tremble all over. This wasn't martial Dao true intent. It was pure inner power. Acquired 12th level, the true peak of the acquired realm, was only one step away from the innate realm. Chapter 106. Ascending Dragon Chamber. Lin Fei's majestic inner power was like a vast ocean. It surged powerfully, circulating within his meridians. One could even hear the thundering sound. How strong was this inner power? Lin Yero couldn't even withstand the aura of Lin Fei's inner power alone and took a step back. Her eyes widened and her face showed disbelief. Lin Fei, you've reached the acquired peak. In just over a month, from the acquired 8th level to the acquired 12th level. How did you manage to do that? Even if Lin Fei was a top-tier genius or even a once-in-a-century genius, to go from the acquired 8th level to the acquired 12th level in just over a month was too exaggerated. Lin Yero was a martial artist herself. Therefore, she knew how difficult this was. It was simply like a fairy tale. Gold Crown Treasure Snake. I also have to thank Taoist Master Yu Shanzi. The treasure snake's blood was just too effective, which allowed my body to grow for a second time, thereby greatly increasing my inner power. In just over a month, I broke through 4 levels and reached the peak of the acquired realm. I didn't even use the heavenly meridian pill. Lin Fei took out the heavenly meridian pill. Originally, his trick to Chan City to participate in the royal competition was to help Lin Yero enter the top 3. His biggest goal was this heavenly meridian pill. But what was the result? Lin Fei didn't even use the heavenly meridian pill and had already reached the acquired peak. This heavenly meridian pill was now useless to Lin Fei. Not to mention the zoo fruit. Seeing the heavenly meridian pill in Lin Fei's hand, Lin Yero had to believe it. Lin Fei had really reached the acquired peak in just over a month. Is the blood of the Gold Crown Treasure Snake really that magical? Lin Yero couldn't help but want to catch a Gold Crown Treasure Snake to try it out. Of course, Lin Yero also knew that the Gold Crown Treasure Snake's blood exchanged between Yu Shanzi and Lin Fei was actually fed with various precious supplements for more than 100 years. There was basically only one unique snake. She couldn't try it even if she wanted to. Lin Fei, this is also your good fortune. Originally, I thought that obtaining the zoo fruit in the secret realm was already a great fortune. But I didn't expect that you would gain such a great opportunity just by exchanging a spot in the secret realm. Lin Yero's expression was a bit complicated. She couldn't help but think of an idea that if she had been given the jar of Gold Crown Treasure Snake's blood, would she be able to reach the acquired peak? However, when this thought had just emerged, Lin Yero immediately extinguished it herself. She was not Lin Fei. She didn't have such a profound foundation and martial arts talent. If the snake blood had really been given to her, it would probably be a waste. But for Lin Fei, achieving the innate realm was hardly a problem. By the way, Lin Fei, when do you plan to break through the Ren and Du meridians and attack the innate realm? Lin Yeo asked. If Lin Fei could achieve the innate realm, it would also be of great benefit to her. It basically meant that her position as a princess would be as stable as a mountain. Even no one would dare to compete with her for the position of princess anymore. The deterrence of an innate martial artist was just so immense. I've been waiting for senior sister Ling to come back. Although my inner power is based on the fusion of three and is incredibly profound, I have no experience in breaking through the Ren and Du meridians, nor do I have an innate martial artist to teach me some techniques. To be cautious, I didn't rashly attempt to break through the Ren and Du meridians. I wanted to ask Ling's senior sister to think of a way to see if she could find me some experiences of martial artists breaking through to the innate realm, so that it would be more secure. If possible, Lin Fei wanted to break through the Ren and Du meridians and achieve the innate realm with 100% certainty, taking no risks at all. Lin Fei, you're doing the right thing. Even if your inner power is profound and you have a great chance, don't be anxious. If you want to attack the innate realm, you must make sure that there is no room for error. Just wait, I'll go to the palace. Our great Chan was established on martial power, and the royal family has many good things. Maybe they can help you break through to the innate realm. Having said that, Lin Yao immediately set off for the palace. Lin Fei sat cross-legged in the room. Ever since Lin Yao came back, his mood had completely calmed down. No matter if Lin Yao could bring him good news or not, he would try to break through the Ren and Du meridians and attack the innate realm. And success was the only option, failure was not allowed. Time passed bit by bit. The sky outside gradually darkened. Suddenly, Lin Fei heard hurried footsteps from outside. Lin Fei opened his eyes. Lin Yao was back. Senior sister Ling, Lin Fei opened the door and welcomed Lin Yao into the room. Lin Yao said sullenly, Lin Fei, I went to the palace today and told the royal elders about your situation. The elder agreed to give you some detailed records of martial artists breaking through the Ren and Du meridians. Moreover, the elder allowed you to enter the royal family's secret place, the Ascending Dragon Chamber, for cultivation. This Ascending Dragon Chamber is very mysterious. I only know that many of the innate martial artist elders, high-ranking chi cultivators, and so on in my royal family are all in the Ascending Dragon Chamber. I'm sure it must be a good place where able to help you advance to the innate realm. Lin Fei looked at Lin Yao and said calmly, Senior sister, tell me about the conditions of the royal family. I don't believe that the royal family would give me such good things for nothing. There must be some conditions, some requirements. The things offered by the royal family were not something that could be given casually. Even with the face of Princess Lin Yao, it was no different. The royal elders were an existence that even the great Chan Emperor had to respect. How could the relationship of a princess persuade the royal elders? Conditions. Lin Yao shook her head and said, it's strange, but the elders didn't mention any conditions. Usually, the elders are not as easygoing as they were today. But as soon as I mentioned that it was for you, the elders agreed. By the way, the elders said something about forming a good bond with you. Just like when the royal family and the founder of the Nine Profound Sect formed a good bond. Lin Fei's eyes flickered, and he whispered, the royal family has a relationship with the founder of the Nine Profound Sect. Even forming a good bond. I'm not sure about that. After all, the founder of the Nine Profound Sect is a figure from hundreds of years ago. But it's true that the relationship between the Nine Profound Sect and the royal family is quite good. Lin Fei, you can't miss this Ascending Dragon Chamber. Even I don't have the qualifications to enter the Ascending Dragon Chamber, there must be some special benefits. Lin Yao said very seriously. She was also considering Lin Fei. Otherwise, she wouldn't go to the palace to ask the elders for help. Senior sister Ling, I'll go. Since it helps me advance to the innate realm, I must go no matter what. Without hesitation, Lin Fei immediately made a decision. In any case, Lin Fei's top priority now was just one thing. That was to advance to the innate realm. As long as he could successfully advance to the innate realm, everything else was just a minor matter. Good, let's get going right away. Please lead the way, senior sister. Lin Fei and Lin Ye got into a carriage together, quickly heading towards the palace. Chapter 107. Well prepared. At the entrance of the palace, the carriage slowly came to a halt. A eunuch was already waiting at the entrance. Lin Fei got off the carriage. Lin Ye couldn't help but lean out and say, "Lin Fei, follow this eunuch, he can take you to the ascending dragon chamber." Then, Lin Ye spoke to the eunuch, "Thank you, eunuch." The eunuch hurriedly bowed and said, "Your Highness, you're too kind. Young Master Lin, please follow me." Lin Fei nodded. He then followed the eunuch into the palace. Lin Fei followed the eunuch all the way to the center of the palace. They slowly approached a palace wall. The eunuch searched for a while on the wall and then pressed hard. Click. The ground slowly cracked open, revealing layers of stairs, forming a downward staircase. But the inside was not pitch black. There were candles on the walls, illuminating the passage. "Young Master Lin, please go ahead. There will be someone inside to receive you, so it won't go down." Lin Fei nodded. He went straight down the stairs. Lin Fei realized that the ascending dragon chamber should be underground. Moreover, as soon as he stepped on the stairs, Lin Fei immediately had a feeling. Is this the formation? Although Lin Fei was not a chi cultivator and couldn't set up a formation, he had seen quite a few formations. For example, the ingathering formation, concealment formation, and so on. Therefore, Lin Fei had a good understanding of the formations set up by chi cultivators. At a glance, he could see that there was a formation here. Furthermore, the formation here was vast and extremely terrifying. Soon, Lin Fei arrived at the end of the passage. Looking ahead, it was a huge underground hall. The place was filled with lit candles. The lighting was bright. However, there seemed to be very few people. There were only 3 elders sitting on cushions in the hall. Lin Fei took a closer look. These 3 elders were the same ones who had presided over the royal competition earlier. Lin Fei pays his respects to the 3 seniors. Lin Fei took a step forward and bowed to the 3 elders. "Lin Fei, you've arrived. The princess has told us about your situation. You want to unblock the Ren and Du meridians and break through to the innate realm." Lin Fei nodded and said, "Yes, my current inner power has reached its limit. The next step is to unblock the Ren and Du meridians and advance to the innate realm." The 3 elders nodded and said, "Then you've come to the right place. This is the ascending dragon chamber, where only high-level chi cultivators and innate martial artists can stay. As for the benefits of the ascending dragon chamber, you'll naturally find out once you enter the secret chamber and try to unblock the Ren and Du meridians. Here are the records of innate martial artists unblocking the Ren and Du meridians that the princess has obtained for you. These 3 books contain detailed records and insights from our royal family's innate martial artists. They should be of some help to you." Lin Fei took the 3 books. He hesitated for a moment but still asked, "Senior Sister Ling once said that the 3 seniors simply wanted to form a good connection with me, just like the founder of the 9 Profound sect. May I ask the 3 seniors, why is this? Or what is the connection between the 9 Profound sect founder and the royal family?" This was also a doubt in Lin Fei's heart. The 3 elders smiled slightly and said, "You don't need to worry. When we say we want to form a good connection with you, it definitely means a good connection. Besides, there must be a reason for allowing you to enter the ascending dragon chamber. However, none of this is important. If you don't become an innate martial artist, you don't need to know the reason. If you do become an innate martial artist, this old man will tell you the reason." Lin Fei understood. The innate martial artist was the key. Even if the 3 elders allowed him to enter the ascending dragon chamber and wanted to form a good connection with Lin Fei, they must be looking to form a good connection with Lin Fei after he became an innate martial artist. If he didn't become innate, it would all be in vain. Even if Lin Fei had comprehended martial Dao true intent and had killed He Yunzi, if he wouldn't become an innate martial artist in the eyes of these royal elders, he wouldn't even be qualified to know the reason. All right, go to the Heaven Room. It's currently vacant and you can practice in there. Thank you, 3 seniors. Lin Fei took the nameplate, following the direction pointed out by the 3 elders. Lin Fei quickly found the secret chamber of the Heaven Room. So, he quickly opened the secret chamber and went in. Watching Lin Fei enter the secret chamber, the gazes of the 3 elders were somewhat profound. Another martial arts genius has emerged from the 9 profound sect. However, it's unknown if this martial arts genius can inherit the mantle of the 9 profound sect's founder. Letting him enter the ascending dragon chamber and forming a good connection with him, is it worth it? If he doesn't become innate, it would all be in vain. The 3 elders sighed deeply. In their eyes, things like martial Dao true intent, or 3-in-1 inner power, were all useless. Only by becoming innate would they truly catch their eyes. At this moment, inside the Heaven Room, a secret chamber, as soon as Lin Fei entered the secret chamber, he immediately smelled a strange fragrance. This fragrance could refresh one's mind, and the chaotic thoughts gradually calmed down. Obviously, this fragrance was likely a very precious item. Lin Fei didn't think about anything else. Instead, he completely calmed his mind. With his whole heart and soul, he prepared to unblock the Ren and Du meridians and try to break through to the innate realm. However, before that, he still needed to read the 3 books in his hands. Lin Fei opened one of the books. This was the experience and insights of a royal family's innate martial artist when breaking through to the innate realm. This royal family's innate martial artist's experience was to push forward with all his might and directly unblock the Ren and Du meridians. Apparently, this innate martial artist's inner power was very strong. The second book contained a different approach. This innate martial artist's inner power was not too strong. So, he used a more gentle approach. First, he slowly unblocked the Ren meridian and then the Du meridian. It took him a full 3 days to succeed. The process was also very thrilling. The third book was similar to the experience in the first book. Both were pushing forward with all their might and directly unblocking the Ren and Du meridians. After a long time, Lin Fei closed the 3 books. He appeared to be deep in thought. It seems that the most important factor for martial artists to break through to the innate realm is inner power. If inner power is strong enough, one can break through the Ren and Du meridians in one fell swoop. If inner power is slightly weaker, one has to use a more gradual approach, slowly unblocking the Ren and Du meridians and taking a certain risk. So, which method should I choose? Lin Fei muttered to himself. Many thoughts flashed through his mind. However, Lin Fei quickly made a decision. His inner power had already merged threefold, his body had undergone a second growth, and the depth of his inner power was unimaginable, far surpassing other acquired peak martial artists. In addition, the 3 vitality technique was very good at unblocking meridians. For Lin Fei, he had at least a 90% chance of successfully becoming an innate martial artist. The techniques to unblock the Ren and Du meridians, the precautions to be aware of, and the special place of the ascending dragon chamber, which helps martial artists advance to the innate realm. Enough, everything is well prepared. There's no need to hesitate. Martial artists should be aggressive and not look back. So, let the breakthrough to the innate realm begin. Lin Fei hesitated no more. At this moment, he cleared all distracting thoughts from his mind. His mind was completely calm. He saw the Ren and Du meridians within his body, which like 2 chasms, separated Lin Fei's body from communication with the outside world. With one burst of energy, break through the Ren and Du meridians and connect the bridge between heaven and earth. Lin Fei's thoughts moved. All the inner power within his body, like a restless volcano, erupted with a bang. Chapter 108. unblocking the Ren and Du meridians, promoting to innate. Boom. Lin Fei's inner power was like a vast ocean, stirring up tremendous waves. It was also like a restless volcano, erupting violently. It was mighty and unstoppable and rushed towards the Ren and Du meridians in an instant. These two meridians were like two iron chains, separating the human body from the outside world, completely locking the martial artist. A human body had its limits, even if one's physical condition was excellent and one's foundation was solid. But it could only generate so much inner power and only accommodate so much inner power. Therefore, to advance further, one must transform certain forces from heaven and earth into one's own power. Only in this way can a martial artist become even stronger. The Ren and Du meridians were challenging to break through. However, in the face of Lin Fei's overwhelming inner power, the Ren and Du meridians were as fragile as paper. Foot. Two faint sounds came from Lin Fei's body. After that, Lin Fei's inner power flowed unimpeded through the Ren and Du meridians. He broke through. The Ren and Du meridians were easily broken through by Lin Fei's inner power. There was no earth-shattering scene. In fact, it seemed quite easy. It made Lin Fei feel that all the preparations he had made before were in vain. In reality, breaking through to the innate realm was just like this. Those who could succeed would truly succeed with no difficulties or obstacles. But those who cannot succeed would truly fail. The Ren and Du meridians were like an insurmountable chasm that was difficult to cross. I've finally become an innate martial artist. Lin Fei's heart was very calm, as if it were a matter of course. He had made so many preparations. It wasn't all in vain. Instead, it all turned into Lin Fei's driving force. That's why Lin Fei's breakthrough of the Ren and Du meridians went so smoothly. However, unblocking the Ren and Du meridians was not the end. It was just the beginning. As the Ren and Du meridians were unblocked, it was equivalent to Lin Fei's bridge between heaven and earth was completely unimpeded. Lin Fei's inner power could circulate a complete cycle. However, just as Lin Fei's inner power began to circulate, he encountered a problem. Because, with the opening of the bridge between heaven and earth, a vast force surged in from the outside world, directly from the bridge between heaven and earth. It forcefully poured into Lin Fei's body, colliding with Lin Fei's inner power. Boom. It seemed as if there was a roar inside Lin Fei's body. Heaven and earth's spiritual chi. A massive amount of spiritual chi from heaven and earth poured into Lin Fei's body. This spiritual chi collided with the inner power. The two forces astonishingly became entangled with each other, continuously consuming, entangling, and cancelling each other out. Your 3 vitality technique is determined to resist the impact of the spiritual chi from heaven and earth. Your 3 vitality technique is frantically running, converting a large amount of inner power from within your body, attempting to suppress the spiritual chi from heaven and earth. Your 3 vitality technique has failed. The spiritual chi from heaven and earth are too vast, and the inner power of the 3 vitality technique cannot suppress it. Your 3 vitality technique has completely collapsed, and the inner power begins to dissipate. Lin Fei's mind echoed with the system's voice. Lin Fei had just felt that inner power in his body suddenly soared. It was as if his whole body was vibrating. Immediately afterward, a large amount of inner power surged up, rushing towards the spiritual chi from heaven and earth. It was as if trying to completely drive away the spiritual chi. However, they failed. 3 vitality technique had failed. It was even directly crushed by the spiritual chi from heaven and earth. The reason was simple. Quantity. At this moment, a continuous stream of spiritual chi from heaven and earth was pouring in from the bridge between heaven and earth. It was simply endless. No matter how much inner power there was, it couldn't compete with such an amount of spiritual chi from heaven and earth. Thus, it was quickly overwhelmed by the spiritual chi from heaven and earth. Gradually, within Lin Fei's body, there seemed to be an additional, very peculiar force. It was in a gaseous state. Different from the spiritual chi from heaven and earth, it seemed to be a new power born from the fusion of the spiritual chi from heaven and earth circulating the great circulation within Lin Fei's meridians and certain forces within his body. Innate true chi. At this moment, Lin Fei was overjoyed. Without a reminder, he already knew this was the innate true chi. Innate true chi was what martial artists absorbed through the bridge of heaven and earth, taking in the spiritual chi of the world, then combined with the internal forces of one's chi, blood, muscles, bones, and skin. Ultimately, it formed a unique power. Although it was on the same level as a chi cultivator's spiritual power, it was entirely different. As Lin Fei gave birth to a trace of innate true chi, this trace of innate true chi began rapidly absorbing a vast amount of spiritual chi from the world. Even some residual inner power was completely shattered by the innate true chi, transforming into innate true chi. However, the conversion of inner power to innate true chi was too scarce, far inferior to the spiritual chi of the world. As for the 3 vitality technique being crushed, Lin Fei didn't mind. After all, the 3 vitality technique was an acquired cultivation technique. Once Lin Fei advanced to the innate realm, the 3 vitality technique would be useless. After all, without inner power, what use would the 3 vitality technique have? Therefore, being overwhelmed by the vast spiritual chi was a good thing, saving Lin Fei from the effort of slowly converting his inner power into innate true chi. With the birth of innate true chi, Lin Fei could finally see the spiritual chi of the world. He looked up. In the secret chamber where he resided, the heaven room, spiritual chi continuously flocked in from all directions. Inside the secret chamber, there were intricate runes. Lin Fei couldn't see them before. But now, having given birth to innate true chi, Lin Fei could see these mysterious runes. Clearly, this was a formation and a profoundly complex one at that. An ordinary chi cultivator might not even be able to set it up. It was because of these formations that a constant stream of spiritual chi flowed into Lin Fei's body, helping Lin Fei rapidly transform it into innate true chi. System. Lin Fei immediately accessed the system to check his martial arts status. Host, Lin Fei. Martial arts realm, innate martial artist. Master, early stage, 1% progress. Saber intent, mastery, 11% progress. Fist intent, mastery, 45% progress. Leaping technique, perfection, 0% progress. Flowing clothes skill, transcendence, 0% progress. Lin Fei took a closer look. The 3 vitality technique had disappeared. With no inner power, the 3 vitality technique naturally vanished. But currently, Lin Fei had no innate cultivation method. Thus, the system panel didn't display any innate cultivation method. However, his martial arts realm had indeed become innate. Moreover, an additional title, Master, appeared. Innate realm martial artist was also known as Master. Furthermore, there weren't many stages within the innate martial artist realm. Only the early, middle, late, peak, and even perfection stages. However, a perfection stage innate martial artist was called a Grand Master. That was another level altogether. The founder of the 9 Profound Sect was a Grand Master, and the 9 Profound Sect had never produced another Grand Master aside from the founder. Lin Fei also noticed that as time passed, a vast amount of spiritual chi poured into his body, transforming into innate true chi. Lin Fei's innate true chi grew from a trace to a strand and finally turned into a gentle strain. It had clearly grown much stronger. The progress behind the master title also increased from 1%, it jumped directly to 10% before gradually slowing down. At this moment, Lin Fei's realm had completely stabilized. So, this is the purpose of the Ascending Dragon Chamber, to rapidly help newly initiated innate martial artists stabilize their realm and transform innate true chi. In just a few hours, I've accomplished what would take other innate martial artists months of hard work. A glint flickered in Lin Fei's eyes. The Ascending Dragon Chamber indeed offered numerous benefits. The royal family's good fortune was truly significant, genuinely assisting Lin Fei. It's about time. My realm is stable, and I've accumulated a lot of innate true qi. Next, I should find a suitable innate cultivation method and slowly practice. Lin Fei was well aware the foundation of an innate martial artist was innate true qi. Without an innate cultivation method, Lin Fei's innate true qi had not yet taken shape. Even so, Lin Fei was now far beyond the reach of acquired martial artists. Innate true qi. Lin Fei struck out with a palm. Boom. Lin Fei's palm hadn't touched the wall, yet a powerful force had already slammed into it. It was as if Lin Fei's palm had struck the wall directly. True qi leaving the body. Lin Fei understood in his heart. An innate martial artist's innate true qi could break free from the body's constraints, launching an attack through the air. And its power far exceeded that of an acquired martial artist's inner power. Moreover, innate martial artists could cover themselves with innate true qi, forming a protective shield. If one couldn't break through the innate true qi, they wouldn't be able to harm the innate martial artist. It was somewhat similar to some defensive spells used by qi condensation cultivators. In short, with innate true qi, the gap between martial artists and qi cultivators was dramatically narrowed, almost making them appear on the same level. Lin Fei, my young friend, since you've stabilized your realm, come out. Suddenly, the voice of the royal family's elder entered from outside the secret chamber.